G'day traders, welcome to a wrap up of Tuesday, November 8th. Just got the daily chart here to start off with. So we started the day's trading definitely with an upside bias. You can see here, and today too, when we start the next session, I think unless something drastic happens in the pre-market, we're definitely looking at an upside bias as well. But there's certain times on the dailies when it really looks like it wants to go up. This particular day I thought the bias was very strong. Other days a little bit more 50-50, but this particular one definitely thought the buyers were around. So going to the 1 minute chart. We start off, bounce straight off a PowerPoint, and then we did head up to start off with. So if you're really keen on the upside, it's quite early, but these PowerPoints are opportunities to get on the upside early. Although it's best not to take trades before 10 o'clock. It's always best to let the market do its things first. So if the market continued to push up here, there's a great opportunity to take some fades up above. But in the end, you can see there's a bit of a tussle here between buyers and sellers. And in the end, the sellers took a bit of control back and started to head down towards this yesterday's close, or this gap line. So for now, the upside bias wasn't working, but you've definitely got to consider that the buyers at some stage will or should come. Okay, at this stage here, I've got that little arrow there. It's just the predictive was starting to switch to the downside. So we'd kind of come through this tussle here between buyers and sellers, and here the sellers really started to win. So it was about this fade here. That's probably a good one to the downside, even though we're looking up. The gaps here is definitely, the market's very likely to come down and get this gap once it started heading towards it. So that was a good fade there. From there, it bounced around like it normally does, around the yesterday's close line. And then from there, it also, a lot of indicators around this particular stage where I got that arrow there was starting to point down. So a lot of the other markets, the 5 minute, they're all starting to look like they want to head down. So once it got through that gap, it's fairly evident the market did want to push down and have a bit of the go at the lows. So from here, the market just drifted up, not with any conviction at this stage. You can see it's bouncing up, but these PowerPoints are holding it back. Right about here, I thought, if the sellers were going to come in, this is where they're going to do it, and this is where they should take control. Looking over here, this is pretty much the sellers' last resistance area. So if it's going to break up through there and also break up yesterday's close, a bit of an indicator maybe the buyers around. They did do that, but they certainly didn't bust up through there. So it's still a bit of a 50-50 area here. From here we got a sell, a 5 minute sell, so it was about a power fade entry. Wasn't too convinced on this to start off with, just because there's no power, but because the sellers did come and they didn't exactly bust up through that resistance area, and I thought there was a chance that was going to go down and break the lows, seeing as though the sellers were around and looking fairly strong. So not a bad opportunity for this one here, even though it went down about 5 ticks and started to drift back up, and then from there it went sideways. So at that particular point there, these type of trades, especially if you're going against the buyers, you don't want to be looking at taking full stop outs if you can. So this one here, once it went sideways here, I'd be getting out and not continuing on with it, because in the end it just didn't get the pressure. So if it's going to go, it really should have went here. So that didn't go. It bounced back up, then came down, bounced back off this PowerPoint. So at this stage here, the fact this sell failed, this was a great opportunity for the sellers to come in. It was kind of a test for them. They didn't take it. And now by this stage, the predictive, the moving averages, everything was switching around the upside, and we actually had a little bit of a break up above yesterday's close here. So this particular fade, a tough chance, but one that at the time I thought was pretty a great opportunity for the buyers just to take off, considering that the upside on the dailies and everything on the 5 minute chart, even though there was no official signal here, there was like an unofficial buy here as the predictive crossed up and the moving averages are pointing up. So this is an area, a great area for the market to head up. It headed up very strongly. There might have even been some news influence yet, I'm not sure, but you can see there it's almost got to the highs in the space of less than 1 hour. The cash market highs are up about 12.68, so it's just about got there at that yellow. It's turned around. Then we came to this area here. So once it's come back and made, or nearly got to its highs, it's evident the buyers are around, and because we've got that long side on the dailies, there's a good opportunity here for the buyers to really go on with it, but it's just a matter of finding that opportunity. So pull back here, and this was an opportunity to get on here, and if you were going to get on here, I guess once you start to get that sell, looking at the area, I thought 12.64 was kind of an area to get on, But even better opportunity would have been let it to come back up, pull back again, and bounce off a power point down here. I mean, that never came, but normally that's a good opportunity. When the market's got quite a strong uptrend, it's going to have a bit of a release of pressure, a bit more longer to reload, and quite often will pop down to the second one, and that's an ideal one to take, to keep in mind anyway. So pull back there, push back up, and then from there you can see it's just those buyers, like we expected at some stage, really started to come in and take over, and they just continued to push up for the rest of the afternoon, till 4 o'clock, till the close. Okay, just got the 5-minute chart now here, so you can see this is where we pushed up earlier on, expected the buyers to go onto there, and then they didn't. They pushed down, broke down through this yesterday's gap, so and then it was here that we got that sell signal, and you can see they did go on with it a bit, so it was looking quite good there for a while, but then it started to pull back, and that's where it went sideways just here, so that's where I would have been getting off. So overall, this sell opportunity I think was a pretty good one. And then just moving on, you can see even though it was selling here, that failed, then all of a sudden everything switched to the upside. So it was at the end of this candle here where you can see the predictors crossed up, the moving average is pointing up, so no official 5-minute signal there, but one, I mean, apart from yesterday's close, that just throws in a bit of extra questionable areas, but I mean, overall, not a bad area here. You can see in hindsight that the market did push up, and an area where the 5-minute chart was picking up on it and saying that the market was definitely going to come in and the buyers take over at that stage is what it did. But just the one official signal for the day. Righto, that's the wrap up.